Hello, my name is Sophie Aldred, and you, yes you, are listening to the 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast.
APP services, Lavazzi and book1.co.uk present the 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast.
Hello and welcome to the 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast, episode 529. I'm Adam. I haven't got a quote, because Kirby's not here. I don't have to do one. Woohoo! And it was Deborah Melrose.
The Cyber King will rise.
Yeah.
Indeed. How like a man. Now, excuse me. I have a funeral to attend.
You tripped over it.
You were saying something. What were you saying?
You have a Kirby to pander to. That's quite a pander to. No, there's nothing relevance to pandas. And of course, hopefully Ben will show up later. So we're going to get straight on with the next Doctor, with a friend of us, Velile Tshabalala, who couldn't be bothered to answer any messages when I asked her if she'd come and actually have an interview about this particular production, but she might be busy, or she might be annoyed that she was invited to FantasyCon 2, but hasn't been invited to FantasyCon 2022 because we think it'd be better to invite her to a Doctor Who related one next year. And here's Ben Shoveler.
Hold on.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I'm sure he says that somewhere.
Hold on. Oh, should I be playing some lift music at this point?
Hold on.
I can't hear anything. You might be able to hear me. I can't hear anything.
I can.
We don't hear you, Ben.
Blowing our ears away with.
Yeah.
And he must know, because I said, and Ben Shoveler, and he came on, didn't he?
Yep.
I'm confused.
And he went, hold on.
Oh, this is so typical of this show. Well, while he's doing that, I can open up my folder.
That's on, so I can hear me.
We can
Hello,
hear
I
you
can't even
well.
hear me. What the Jesus Christ?
You're live, Ben.
He
Please
can't hear
stop.
that he's live. Anyway, oh no, I can't find my folder. This is slick. What's this show called? Stop.
I've got feedback from me.
Yes, I can tell you got feedback from you.
Feedback from me, but I have what the
Where
hell?
the-
Hold on, just give me a sec.
I'm giving you a second. Give myself a second
Make
too.
sure
I found the
everything's
folder.
on like it should be.
Jingles
This
and
is up there
effects.
with when Kirby couldn't hear us. That was hilarious.
How about when
I can hear you saying hello in the background. I can't hear it.
What about the
Was that
time
you laughing, Debbie?
when we pretended we couldn't
That's
hear
what I can
Kirby?
hear.
That was hilarious.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. You're the audio expert. I'm trying to find my jingles folder at the moment.
You're the audio expert.
Oh, here it is. Priority jingles. Yeah, where's the P?
Oh, Christ
Priority
alive.
jingles. There we are. Right. Now,
That sounded very Sylvester McCoy.
yeah, it's working. Right then. So while he's fiddling around with his bits,
Shall we start?
we have started. This is so typical of the show. I'm going to see what Lillian's saying. Right then, we stuff coming through on the live feed. This is filling, by the way. Filling. Lillian Robbins says, oh, hang on. Where's her original messages? Oh, 1 minute late for shame. And stop posting stuff. It keeps jumping up the screen. I heard there's some news on Doctor Who, on the Doctor Who front. I saw something on his back. Lillian Robin again says research, and then something. That's a song by the Beatles. Lillian Robin also says, this is all Lillian Robin. Are my levels okay? I couldn't tell you. And great podcasting. Yes, I know.
Yeah,
and
we're doing
you'll
our
be
best
editing
tonight.
this one. No, I won't. Right. Are you there yet, Ben? Nope, he's not there. She's going great. Unless he's
Ben,
rebooting
just
his
hang up
system.
and try again.
I'm here.
He's
Yeah.
there.
Got it working. I can now hear you.
Good.
All I've got to do now is
Turn your
stop
volume
this
up.
bloody test thing going.
What test thing?
There we go.
Skype testing.
Jesus.
Hello.
Sorry. Hello.
You're working very
Oh
valiantly.
dear, that was entertaining, wasn't it? Everybody
Yes,
who's listening and
was it,
watching the
boys
show.
and girls?
Oh, you're already recording then, are you?
Obviously.
Of course you were.
Right. Okay. Well, good evening.
Good evening,
Bloody
Ben.
hell.
How are you?
Oh, I'm as stressed as stress could be now, with everything just going to pot around everywhere. Just God dear, what is going on?
Right then. So I was about to start the next Doctor review, but as we'll talk about the actual next Doctor bit first, the news of next Doctor rather than the next Doctor the episode we're watching. Isn't it ironic though that we're doing the next Doctor and we get the news of the next Doctor the day we do, and then Kirby and Mary can't be bothered to be on the show. It's amazing.
Oh, really? Is it just the 3 Brits today? Is it?
Yes.
Yep.
So this will be as slick can be. Right then, so the news of oh God, I've forgotten his name. Help, Debbie, help.
What?
The name of the actor that's playing the Doctor in future. Please help.
Hang on.
I haven't got any notes.
No, I haven't got any notes. I'll be back in a second.
I did do a screenshot though. I'll see if I can find it from his screenshot.
I got it.
Oh, you got it, have you?
Ncuti Gatwa.
Ncuti Gatwa, yes. Ncuti Gatwa, of course, by this time next year, everybody it will just roll off the tongue, and we'll all be thinking how silly we were. I was. I couldn't even get the name and remember the name.
He's a Scottish.
It's Scottish. No, he's not. He's African. Yeah. Anyway, no. So when this name came up on my phone, actually, no, Mick came in and showed it to me. I said, I know someone at home would be particularly delighted about that, and I wasn't wrong. Doctor Who has now regained a viewer, but not for any further. Oh, mind, I think that she will watch the final one for obvious reasons. But we've regained a viewer that actually it's very embarrassing for myself that Doctor Who has been so bad that members of the family only watch it out of loyalty to me, not the fact and when they do watch it they fall asleep. So that's the great. So that's for me. When I saw his name, I thought, great, that's good news. So
he's quite young as well. He's 29.
29. He's obviously a very good actor, and it's a reboot again, and it can't be any worse than it is now. So. Would expect it to be. But it is RTD, so we keep our fingers crossed. RTD has cast people in the past. People have gone, oh god, and it's turned out to be quite good. Yeah. Ben is completely the opposite. Frame of mind. I can tell by his text attitude. So what's the matter, Ben?
So the show at the moment, after and Adam, you might notice a bit of a simile here to something else in my life that we were discussing on Facebook yesterday.
I'll have to look this up because I can't remember.
For something that was once great that has fallen from
you're talking about Manchester United.
Absolute turd. Like Doctor Who, in many respects, used to have a great manager. He then left and gave it to a Scottish bloke who was absolutely incompetent. And now it's time for a reboot, both of My Football Club and Doctor Who. And in my opinion, instead of signing Cristiano Ronaldo, they've signed Cristiano Cronaldo.
That's very good. I don't agree with you, but it's very
from
good.
Some club in Qatar or it's absolutely. I mean, right? Okay, I know people will be going, but personally, I think you should have a big actor. This was the time to bring in a huge star as Doctor and make them for the next 3, 4, 5 years and make them the face of it. Instead, they've brought in a nobody. Quite frankly, all right. Some people have watched whatever. I've never ever heard of the geezer. I don't know what he's even done before. I'm not interested. To be fair, I think they've got it absolutely bang wrong. And I've not been watching for 3 years, and it's going to be very, 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 very easy to continue not watching. I'm just not bothered. I think it's an appalling decision. Don't know who the geezer is. Not interested. Thank you very much. Good night, Doctor Who.
A lot of people said that about David Tennant when he was signed, and also about Matt Smith. I don't know what you'll say about Matt Smith, but he has been quite successful.
I was never a Matt Smith fan. You were quite right about David Tennant, but look at it also in the fact that they bought it back with Christopher Eccleston, who was a massive actor. All right, he wasn't Hollywood, but he was a big British actor. After that, who have we had? We had David Tennant, who was, you could quite easily say, a nobody at the time as well. Absolutely. He'd been in Casanova, which was obviously done by RTD as well. And he then went on to have a massive career after that. Matt Smith, similar. Not a lot done before that. But since then, they brought in Peter Capaldi, who was a great doctor with rubbish story. Sorry. That nearly came out wrong. With rubbish stories. The writing was appalling. He was good, but nothing else around him was. Kind of like Cristiano Ronaldo at Man United. David De Gea. And then Jodie Whittaker. All right, no, I'm not a fan. I don't think they should have ever cast a girl or a lady or a woman as the Doctor. I'm absolutely abjectly against that, and always will be. At least she'd been, at least you know who she was. She'd had a good run in Broadchurch. All right, the third series was absolute guff, but the first series was great. She was good in it, but again, the writing has been appalling, and I was never going to watch it because to me that's the wrong decision, and I don't like this decision. Other people will completely disagree and say it's absolutely wonderful he's been cast as this. Oh, it's great. We've got this bloke in it. Just off. I'm just not. Yeah, people like that do my head in. And if anyone listening is one of them, don't ever contact me. Quite frankly, I'm really peed off with it, and I've been talking to one of our fellow cohorts this afternoon quite a bit. And they too think it's an absolute sham of a decision. So, I'm going to start agreeing with whoever that person was who shall remain unnamed. Okay. And
but he says that about every new Doctor himself. So.
And agree that the programme should have been canned about 5 years ago. It's just, done for me. So, when we get to the new episodes, I shall be doing them from over here.
I'd like to say about Alan D. Butch has corrected us and said Ncuti, as it's written down phonetically, is pronounced shooty.
Gibbish.
And Lillian says, did you... Georgia Tennant said there was a picture of shooty.
Oh, yeah.
Where they said, hello, Dad, on it. That was the funniest post I've seen today. Yeah.
Oh, I had to share that on Facebook. I don't know.
It's hilarious.
Because of.
I have to say, Ben, I totally understand your feelings, but I prefer to be optimistic. I prefer to be optimistic. It is something new, and he might be, and he's a very good actor. He's very charismatic. Yeah. He is more or less the star of what's that series called? Sex Education. So I think he could do it. We'll wait and see, won't we? It's certainly going to happen.
Never even heard of Sex Education. Well, I mean, apart from when I was at school.
Okay.
Why are we getting sound effects?
Because Terry Miles says he's only just getting and just sent in feedback. So we'll wait and see what happens. I'm glad we've got something to look forward to.
So when you heard about it, Adam, were you a bit like this?
No, I was actually quite pleased because I knew I'd get one of my children back into Doctor Who.
Hey! If it means my husband is going to actually sit down and watch Doctor Who with me again, I'd be very happy, and he's already said he will.
Yeah, on the subject of having never heard of Sex Education, that doesn't really matter. It's a highly successful programme. Which is coming back on Netflix for a third run. So
many more successful programs with many more successful actors.
It's more successful than Doctor Who is at the moment because it's still being brought in by a non-public thingy TV channel thingy.
Well, I hope you all enjoy it.
Good. So do I.
I'm very optimistic. I think it's wonderful. Announcement. I think it's going to ruffle more feathers.
Why is it a wonderful announcement? What makes it wonderful?
The show has been going in the very wrong direction, writing-wise, more than anything. Ticking the boxes every episode of each woke episode, and then bringing in the romance again. I hate it. I just want to have a Doctor that just has.
Hold on, the PC Brigade are going to be well happy about it. What are you talking? No, I don't agree with that at all, Debbie. I think the PC Brigade will be going, oh, fantastic, we've got a coloured actor as Doctor Who. Huh?
That's not what you were saying, was it, Deb?
That's not exactly what I was saying at all.
Oh, no, no, that's how it came across to me. No. I'm sorry if I misunderstood you, Deborah.
Relationship with another bloody companion, it takes away from the adventure. It doesn't make
it's the love relationship we don't want anymore.
There'll be some kind of gay relationship going on now again. I mean, it's just not Doctor Who. It's just PC claptrap.
That's what I'm saying.
Any relationship.
That's the way it's going at the moment.
Any romantic relationship between the Doctor and the companion. I don't understand
why we have to have the drama of the Doctor in a relationship. When you look at what happened with the Ponds, having a relationship together as companions, that worked brilliantly well.
Oh, well, in that case, if I misunderstood what you said, I do apologise for putting any words into your mouth.
That's all right.
I do wholeheartedly apologise, Deborah.
You put a lot of words in my mouth and I just let them go because it's so bloody hilarious.
But no, I didn't mean to, cast dispersions on anything you were saying there.
Well, I'm sorry if you misunderstood, because I didn't mean to come across like that.
No, you have nothing to apologise for.
Shut up.
You said.
God. Anyway,
look, Adam, it's a very British podcast tonight. We're allowed to profusely apologise.
I want to move on. I'm just saying that I understand Ben, because Ben has the voice of, and the opinion of a few Doctor Who fans. I haven't heard of him apart from Ben yet, but I'm sure there will be some. And on the flip side of it, me, Deb, and I haven't obviously spoken to Kirby, or Mary hasn't heard of him, but I don't think she was particularly yay or nay about it. Kirby has, but we'll see what happens. It's something new. It's a regeneration, and we can't just cast it away without having to see what it's hopeful.
Like. I'm hopeful again. Every time we get a new Doctor announcement, that's basically where I was going with it. I'm hopeful again. I get so excited about Doctor
It might be pants.
I was absolutely nonplussed about it. I wasn't excited. I wasn't intrigued by it at all. I was just like, who the is that?
But like I say, it might be pants, but it also might be good. He might be rubbish. He also might be good. We'll wait and see what it's like.
Nobody knows, Adam. That's the fun thing about it. But only you lot are going to find out. So, and I apologise to anyone who thought I might have a slight racial thing to my comment.
That wasn't the PC factor and everything.
Oh, there'll be there's an element of it, but I think I think we've moved past. Sorry, I think we've moved past the idea of shock horror. It's a black doctor, because we had Joe Martin, and
have another doctor actually speaking with his native accent.
Maybe so, but I'm pretty sure that he can actually do other accents.
I know, but with the American listeners, we're struggling, especially with Jodie's accent, oddly above.
Oh yeah. Well, he's either going to be doing his soft African accent, or he's going to be doing a British accent. We'll find out anyway. I'm pretty sure he won't do an American one. But yeah, it's.
He might surprise you, Adam.
You can imagine the companion saying, "Why have you got an African accent?" And him saying, "Every planet has an Africa." But. But no, I think it's been proven that the skin tone of a person playing the Doctor doesn't matter, because Joe Martin probably could have played the Doctor instead of Jodie Whittaker. No offence, Jodie, but Joe nailed it in the 2 or 3 bits she's done. She nailed it really, really well. But anyway,
I thought she was appalling. To be
appalling.
Honest. Sorry, appalling.
No, he meant appalling.
Not appalling.
Appalling.
Rubbish.
I disagree.
The bit I saw of Joe Martin, I thought she was nothing like a Doctor.
Oh, stop it. I mean, obviously that's your opinion, but
my opinion. I didn't think she was anywhere near. It's been lost. The whole show has been lost. And this announcement today, who is he? I've got no idea. Put someone who's a big actor in that. And as I said, you'll go, well, David Tennant wasn't.
Well, that can always go both ways. Putting somebody who's a big actor in it.
You can't take the chance of it at the moment. The show is teetering on the edge of cancellation because it's been so crap for the last 3 years. And in many people's opinion.
Watch this latest special.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
The worst number of people ever watched Doctor Who.
That's my point.
Because the episode was terrible. That's why.
Yes, it is. But it has been terrible, Adam. Yeah. It's all very well people looking at something through rose-tinted spectacles going, it's Doctor Who, it's all fantastic. No, it's not. It's been absolute crap recently. To the point where people like myself who have watched it since I was 0 years old have just discarded it because it's just not worth watching. It's not entertaining. It's preachy. It's PC.
My dad stopped.
I just want to move away from PC.
So. From the beginning, it's like my dad stopped watching it.
Yeah, that's
exactly. And that is not what they need to be doing now. They need to be getting people back to watching it
with good stories.
They made a really good signing by bringing in a great manager in Russell T Davies, bringing him back, hoping he can sparkle like he used to, and then. Instead of continuing with what could have been a rise of it, in my opinion, they've brought in an absolute Who, not an absolute.
Well, there you go. It's Doctor Who.
Yeah, right.
Now it's Doctor Who's the actor.
But who is the actor? Who is he? They needed someone, a name who they could build it off, not a nobody, because they're trying to bring through the under-23s.
I know what you're saying, but to some, it is rather it's.
Davis. That's enough of a name.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, as to who the actor is, it's all down to who you know, isn't it? A lot of the people that watch things like Netflix shows, like what's that one? Sex Education. Will know who he is, so that will then bring in those viewers. Doctor Who fans who are diehard like myself will watch it anyway. And if it happens to be absolutely amazingly good, yes, you might lose some, but if you gain more viewers than you lose, and
there are a lot of variables there, though, Adam, aren't there?
Because I'm just saying
if they know this actor, whoever he is.
Yeah, but bringing in the big names doesn't always work in any franchise. Doesn't always work.
No, but you've got more of a chance of making it work bringing in someone who more people have heard of because no matter what your argument is there, and I do see what your point is, the people who were watching him on Netflix, how many people watch that single show on Netflix? Only Netflix know. So it could be 30 people, it could be 5,000, it could be 50 million, it could be half the planet. We don't know. But the chances of the majority of them following an actor from an show that they watched over isn't very high. Some people will go, oh, I like him, I'll go and watch that show as well. And then if it's no good or not what they expect, because if you're bringing people into a science fiction fantasy TV show and they aren't really aware of what's going on around it, they ain't lasting long. They're going to turn up, they rock up, they watch one episode and they go, what the was that about?
I'm really worried about all the little old ladies who absolutely love Jensen Ackles in Supernatural, and they're going to go and try and watch the new series of The Boys because the lovely Jensen Ackles is in it. It's going to be hilarious. I'm waiting for a major fallout on Facebook with a few people about it.
But anyway, Lillian Robbins says, get on with it. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, The Next Doctor, the TV show, The Next Doctor. Beg your pardon?
We're discussing The Next Doctor. We have been discussing The Next Doctor. Now we're discussing The Next Doctor. Yeah.
So the next Doctor. At the end of the previous episode, the Doctor was really gloomy and grumpy, but the TARDIS materialises in a snowy, Christmassy environment, and he's all cheerful and it's Christmas and stuff.
Kid. Love the cheeky kid.
Yes. And it happens to be snowing, and he goes up to one of the little kids and said, what year is this? And the kid said something, can't remember what he said, something flippant.
Yeah, what day is it? He says, what day is it? And he tells him it's Christmas Eve. And what year is it? Don't you bloody know? Or something.
Well, surely you will ask what year it is before what day, wouldn't you? Anyway, so he's wandering around this square, and there's some shouting. He overhears some shouting, and it's the good old Velile. Rosita. Something's kicking off, and then she's saying about the Doctor coming along, and he thinks she's talking about him, and of course then David Morrissey sort of bounces in and takes over.
Right. Brilliant.
They should have got Neil Morrissey.
And
or Morrissey.
Then there's a very wonky sort of cyberhead, and the titles roll.
And
a little action adventure between these two. What we assumed when we watched it originally, we assumed this was another incarnation of the Doctor. Of course, if you notice that Russell T Davies was actually playing along with this, because obviously there was the hint that the Doctor's coming to the end, and we know he is anyway, because it's been announced at the BAFTAs or wherever that he was leaving anyway. So he drops in these hints. We had the near regeneration towards the end of the last series, which was like 2 episodes ago, and now we're meeting what might be another incarnation of the Doctor. But obviously we find out later, isn't it? So they go chasing
spoilers!
We go chasing after this cyber shade, which I felt then and felt now that it was a bit of a pointless character, really, to be fair. But it produced a little comic scene while they were chasing after it and being dragged along the floor and nearly being pulled out of an open window and then hugging each other because of the excitement of, being in a little adventure. I love the way that Velile portrays not the slightest bit impressed with the Doctor's attitude.
Not again.
Yeah. And then the Doctor has a conversation with her. What happened to you? Did I trip over a brick or... because he's convinced that he's a future him, but it appears that the other Doctor, has a bit of a memory block, and there's a little bit of a flashback, isn't there, to something in his memory, which is obviously we find out later is the data. Is it a data core thing? I can't remember now.
The data core.
Yeah, it's something like yeah.
And then we flash to the Cybermen. Sort of having a conversation with Miss Hartigan, played by an Irish actor whose name I've forgotten.
Neve. No,
it's not Neve. Anybody?
No, I know she's Irish though, so it might well be.
I don't think the character she played in this is Irish.
That program, Ballycus Angel.
Oh, was it? There was another one she was in, where she went to bed with the bloke who... What's her name?
Darvla Kervin.
Darvla Kerwin, that's it. But there was, I remember years and years ago, she did a love scene with an older man in the drama she was playing him, and the older man was played by that bloke in the that.
Was it Morrissey?
No. Van Gogh. He was the one in the museum that they were touring the Doctor and Amy.
For heaven's sake, it's Van Gogh.
Come on. So anyway, one of the
Adam seems to be falling ill.
One of the COVID's coming back. One of the Cybermen has a brain on view, just for the fact that they could. Interesting note, these are all Cybermen still. Anyway, so they're sort of drafting in this Miss Hartigan who has a real mind of her own, and then there's a funeral, and
an old man,
and the Morrissey Doctor and Rosita are watching over the fence while this thing is happening. I think Miss Hartigan rocks up at the funeral wearing a red dress, which doesn't.
She looked great.
She did, but it didn't impress the funeral goers. Is that what they're called? Mourners?
Mourners, afternooners.
So
Eveningers, depends when it takes place, I suppose.
Another conversation between the doctors, where the Doctor he's pretending to be John Smith at the moment to save confusion for the other Doctor, Jackson, isn't it? Is trying to sort of wake up memories in his mind, and then he finds a data core and sort of projects it onto the screen, and it's like Britain's history up to that point, and that creates a flashback to him holding. This is the other Doctor holding a data core at some point, and then the Cyberman
thought he was a doctor who'd put his life in a data core that his time into a fob watch and then transfer it into a digital watch.
He did think that, yes, that's very true. But when he opened that was a quite a good scene, that where he sort of they built it up quite dramatically, and he opened up the fob watch and it fell apart. Oh, maybe not then, he says.
Yeah.
I guess that was an amusement, wasn't it?
It was a bit of an amusement. Anyway,
I enjoyed it highly.
Right, let's moving on. So the Cybermen turn up at the funeral and start deleting people.
Delete.
They don't use that term anymore. Have you noticed that? The current.
Yeah, the PC brigade don't like it.
What? Don't like delete?
No, it's got to be backspace now.
Very good.
Backspace.
I like that one. That's one of the better ones, Ben. I have to use that in one of my TikToks. Right.
Really?
Yes?
I'm not offended at all by that.
I don't watch TikTok.
Anyway,
what channel's TikTok on?
Very good. So yeah, there's they're all hiding away, having a conversation while Hartigan plots, and the Cybermen actually do some plotting. I'm moving forward quite a lot. It's just quite good. I'm liking this. And
I said that.
Yeah, and then there's a data. Where is the data core they find that's actually got all the Doctor stuff in it, and the Doctor projects it onto the wall, and it's quite cool. I remember at the time I think, oh, it's all Doctor Who stuff. How exciting! And that's what.
They're in that house. Don't they find it in the house?
That's it. But the exciting. Well, that's when Jackson realises he's not the Doctor, more or less, and he must have basically had that beamed into his head. And later on in the episode, we see it actually happen. And then a load of children have been. Thank you. Because Miss Hartigan has decided that a good workforce in the Victorian ages was children, which in fact was the case. So they're rounding up a load of children. Remember, there was a mention of Hartigan being the matron of a workhouse, wasn't there? So there was a bit of a theme going on there with workhouses. So all the workhouse children were rounded up to do some work for the Cybermen to build this Cyber King thing.
Cyber King.
And as what's her name? Memories. Oh yeah, Jackson's memories start coming up. He realises at one point his wife's been killed. What do you? I remember who I am. He realises at one point that the Cybermen killed his wife, and then while he's in that building with all the little kiddywinks, he realises he's got a child up there. And that child is really weird looking, wasn't he?
Why?
Hartigan gets taken over by the Cybermen, and her eyes go all black. And then I think they have to get the kids out before the Cyber King thing starts walking around London, this great big massive giant wooden thing. The Doctor rescues,
isn't it?
Doctor rescues Jackson's son by swinging on a rope high up in this thingy, and so Jackson and his son, his very strange looking son, are reunited.
Strange looking? I didn't think he was strange looking.
He's really strange in a bad way. No, I didn't mean strange in a bad way. He just had a very sort of unusual look to him.
Okay.
Very striking look to him. Anyway,
I'm just having a look to see who played him. His name was Adam Pearson.
Very funny. We forgot to mention the TARDIS. The other Doctor's TARDIS, Jackson's TARDIS, was a balloon.
I love Jackson's TARDIS.
Which obviously would come in handy later in the episode when the Doctor flew it. So he could have a chat with taking over Hartigan and beam stuff into her to.
I love that.
To sever the connection.
Sever the connection.
But he did. The Doctor did give them a chance. I'm going to let you off. Stop doing this. Otherwise, I will stop you. But of course, it was shut up. And so, yeah.
No, I don't like that. Sorry. Yeah.
You don't like that? Why don't you like it?
No. I mean, I'm not.
The Doctor. Yes,
I'm not going to do it. No, I don't like being given a fair ultimatum. I'd rather you just kill me.
Oh, I've just seen Dennis Waterman's died.
Yes, he has, yes. So anyway, the Doctor saves the day. And,
big fan.
The other Doctor is given a tour of the TARDIS console room and then invited to Christmas dinner. Initially he said no, but he did in fact give in and go to Christmas dinner.
Well, I know I like the fact that he uses the fact that he's had him in his head. And
in your head.
Use a Christmas dinner. I love that. It's like, come on, no, I've been in there. I know what you're like. Come on, and I love that.
Right then, so before we talk about briefly, this is great about the next Doctor. Stuff coming through on the live feed. Brandon Moore says, and this is directed at Mr. Benjamin Shoveler.
What a surprise! Does he not agree?
He says, as a 24,
my view unpopular?
Be quiet! I'm doing Brandon. As a 24-year-old... What?
As we talk.
As a 24-year-old, everyone I know watches Sex Education, and everyone who I've spoken to today has said they will now watch Doctor Who because he's in it. I thought that might happen. And we do need to rope in some younger viewers. Lillian Robin, who had heard of Tom Baker before he was the Doctor? Yeah, I was absolutely gutted. I was gutted when they said Tom Baker was going to be the Doctor and take over from my John Pertwee.
Yep. Milkman, postman. Bloody loads.
And this is a bit you won't like, Ben, but I know it won't bother you. Ben's argument is invalid. And I'd just like to remind viewers and listeners that those sound effects are not coming from my control desk. They're coming from the shoveler hub. The shoveler shed, I should say. Lily Robin says, info stamp, get it right. Oh, it's an info stamp. Sorry, I said data stamp, didn't I? Sorry, Lillian. You need a pedant? No, I don't. We're having a nice day today, aren't we, everybody?
We're having a British evening.
Data core indeed. She's being Kirby, basically. Lillian has decided she's nominated herself as Kirby today.
Lillian is tonight's representation of Kirby Bartlett-Stone.
And I think Ben is going to love this particular pun from Alan T. Butcher. Oh, Benjamin is really shoveling it today.
I raised my clip up for you.
So, Ben, what did you think of the next Doctor TV episode with David Morrissey and David Tennant? That one.
Well, it doesn't really matter what I say. Everyone's going to disagree with me anyway. I'm allowed an opinion, man.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
Yeah, doesn't mean I'm wrong. I'm never wrong. The episode itself was it was all right, wasn't it? I mean, it had some nice funny bits in it. Obviously, it had our lovely Velile Tshabalala in it.
Velile Tshabalala.
Oh, she's lovely. It had some good bits. It was nothing outstanding. It was clever in parts, obviously, in the way that we all, as you said, all thought that the next Doctor was going to be the next Doctor, and it took about half an hour for Russell T Davies to go, I got ya, which he did, because, in that respect, most of us did. I mean, the TARDIS as the balloon was just hilarious. But it did have some, silly bits in it. As you say, at the start, the whole chasey thing with the cyber dog thing was just ridiculous. I know it's a science fiction fantasy TV.
And it was a Christmas special, remember?
And it was snowing.
Yeah.
So, I did give it a watch a couple of weeks ago. I thought Darville Kirwan was very good in it.
Yeah.
Outstanding, actually, hard to say. The story itself, it was good enough. It ticked along nicely, resolved itself nicely, and on to the next one.
Right, I'm just going to say what I thought of it. I thought it was all right. It wasn't one of the rubbish ones. It wasn't one of the good ones. It was just. But I do like it more now, having met Velile. Obviously, I'm just watching all her bits with a little smile on my face. To be fair, what did you think, Deborah?
Well, obviously, friend of the show's in it. She's an amazing character anyway. And, this is a great Christmas one. This is a terrific Christmas episode of Doctor Who. The music's brilliant. The palette is fantastic. Very festive palette. But also you've got, obviously, the major rise of steampunk around this time. So you've got the Cyber King is just a fantasy of steampunk. And it's just good fun, and I think the thing that does stand out for me in this one was the music. And then obviously you've got the two Doctors who've acted together in Liverpool a long time ago, and that was terrific. And they I think it's just a cracking, good fun episode. Knowing what's coming, it's just a spot of light relief, really.
Oh, well, there we go. Bit right then, so that's good. Thank you, everybody. Well, we better see what Kirby's little request for feedback resulted in, shouldn't we? He says podcast recordings Sunday 8th May 7 p.m. British time to discuss the next Doctor. Please provide feedback to 20mb.feedback@gmail.com or leave a comment here. So the comments here are...
Hold on, is Kirby not here today?
Have you not noticed?
I hadn't noticed.
Robert Vance Jr., one of my favourite specials next to the Waters of Mars. Is he being sarcastic? Actually, Waters of Mars isn't too bad, actually, to be fair.
Waters of Mars is terrifyingly good.
It is terrifying. The actor who
I wouldn't agree with either of those words.
The actor who plays the Jackson Lake character acts like the Peter Davison Fifth Doctor, a very sugary type story. 3.5 out of 5. Neil James says...
Actually, I'd never thought of that.
What's
like
that?
Before. The fact that he kind of plays him as Peter Davison.
Well, it's also, you've got to remember, his Doctor is Peter Davison as well. That's what he says in the extras, which I'm sure Kirby will either correct me or validate.
Well, you've done your job in referencing Kirby.
But now thinking about it, I'd never thought of it like that before, but now you've mentioned it, so many things just kind of go, actually, that is spot on.
So that's a really good point. Does it deserve a ding?
Yeah.
Hold on. No, it deserves a...
What? Deserves a ding. Yes,
deserves one of them.
First time.
Okay,
the Watcher's chance to improve on it.
Well, I can do you another one.
Oh, no, that'll do. No. Neil James.
I've got a third.
What's that one?
You're worse than Isla with the Mrs. A's fart cannons, honestly.
All right, thank you. That'll do. Right then, Neil James says the next Doctor, David Morrissey, is terrific in this story. His portrayal of the Dr. Jackson Lake is charming, compelling, and believable. He is definitely the best thing about this episode. No, he isn't. Velile is.
No.
But there
Velile is.
Certainly some other good points too. Rosita is fun. She is. I did mention that just a moment ago. The snowy period setting works well. And what's not to like about the massive TARDIS balloon? I talk about the Jackson Doctor and Rosita. I know obviously the Rosita bit is because of the Rose connection, but I mean, if you imagine that he was the Doctor and Rosita was the companion, that those two would be a great Doctor companion thing, because there was no way Rosita was, romantically interested in Jackson or the Doctor or whatever, and she just played that sort of companion role absolutely superbly, and it did remind me very much of Tennant and Tate, and I think that's what they were sort of trying to sort of
replicate,
channel. That sort of thing between it was really good. She was great. Anyway, right. As far as the story, I find the Jackson Lake disappearance far more interesting than the Cybermen threat. Yeah, the Cybermen were a bit sort of superfluous. They were just there for the sake of it, weren't they?
To this story, they wouldn't have actually needed them. To be fair.
No, they weren't. They could have had any baddie there, really. To be fair. Miss Hartigan is a fine villainess, but I'm afraid that new Who Cybermen continue to bore me. Unfortunately, the Jackson Lake mystery is cleared up at the halfway point, and there is still another half an hour to fill. And those last 30 minutes are just a bit rubbish, ending with a giant Marvel-like third act featuring an uninspired CGI menace. That's a good sentence. The next Doctor...
like that, uninspired CGI menace. I'm just going to make a note. I'm just going to make a note.
Jot that down, Ben.
I'm just writing it down now.
The next Doctor gets off to a flying start, but just can't quite keep up the quality to fill its hour-long runtime. Difficult to love, but I do like it 3 out of 5. Kirby Bartlett Sloane.
Where is he?
How appropriate we were talking about the next Doctor. Yeah, we actually referred to that earlier on. I think a few people might have spotted. Never mind.
We'll got it in before anyone else, because look at the timestamp of when he posted this feedback.
Billy Kirkbright said, good episode, right? No, it's okay.
Okay.
Good episode. Okay.
Okay.
And then, but Kirby Bartlett Sloane, Billy Kirkbright, I'm unavailable for today's recording, so I can't attempt to read this in my approximation of your accent. Billy Kirkbright said, lol,
okay.
I'm gutted. Okay.
Okay.
And then Kirby says, Ben Shoveler can fill in, I'm sure. No, he can't. I've done it. Right then. Brandon Moore said...
Was that an impression of Billy, was it?
Yep. Brandon Moore...
Okay.
Lovely Bible written here by Brandon Moore. The Cyber King will rise indeed. How like a man. That's in inverted commas. Oh, that was a quote from Hartigan, wasn't it? No? Okay. Apologies for not sending any feedback last time. I was at a family wedding and forgot. I liked Journey's End a lot, though the resolution of simply blowing up the Daleks is rubbish. And the over-prophecising and under-delivering of a companion death is a letdown. So those things lowered it down to a 8 out of 10. And I was disappointed with what cliffhanger was dropped. Oh, she was disappointed that what cliffhanger was dropped, because they know that's what they used to do before the Christmas specials, wasn't it? The what. Which leads us into the next Doctor by Russell T. Wait. Hang on. The next Doctor is Ncuti Gatwa. Well, I'm going to have to write it down as Ncuti, because it doesn't look like it when you read it out.
I thought I was pronouncing it right, but obviously not.
Well, this is a surprise, but a good one. Loved him in Sex Education, and sure he will be great in this. Looking forward to the new series now. Whenever it may be. Now, how I say, the Doctor's supposed to be an alien. I'm pretty sure this Ncuti chap can play an alien, because he's quite an alien. He's got that sort of alien look to him anyway, so good start. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, sorry, that's exactly what I was thinking myself. The next Doctor is David Morrissey. This story worked. I shouldn't be reading this because my glasses are playing up. Worked a lot better on first viewing. As repeated watching the show, the Fake Doctor fake out to be tedious and unnecessary. David Morrissey is very good at playing an approximation of the Doctor rather than the Doctor himself, which is a nice choice. The Cybermen are pretty bad and clunky in this story. It says this stories. That means he means this story. The Cyber Shades look great. No, they don't. Oh, sorry, look great on paper, but terrible on screen. He means screen. Remember we used to do this many years ago, and when he deliberately dropped in these spelling errors, and I used to read them out exactly as he wrote them. The Cyber King is terrible on paper and even worse on screen. Oh no, he wrote it again. Oh no, that's just, oh God, you're confusing me. So he says the Cyber Shades and the Cyber King are both terrible on. I'm moving on. Right, Dervla Cohen is hot
on paper, but terrible on screen.
Yes,
the Cyber King is terrible.
You're all right, thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Yes, I think we got how I cocked it up quite clearly. Dervla Cohen is hot. but wasted in this story due to the doctorly deception dragging dreary dead weight around this story. The plot doesn't really kick in gear until the second half. Basically, it's a drag. The Cyber King is awful, and I generally find myself losing interest, after the sword fight. It's good Christmas fodder, I guess, so I'll be generous and give it a 6 out of 10. Next time, all aboard number 200.
Do you remember when we used to have Christmas specials?
Yeah.
Instead of the New Year's Day demotion slot that it seems to have been chucked into.
Kirby Bartlett Sloan says,
Where is he?
My quote, "Whoa, that's cheating sneaking up. Do you have your leg on silent? Or legs on silent?" I don't know what you mean.
You didn't ask me for my quote.
Oh, I didn't have one, so I thought
you were so busy
almighty.
trying to work out how to get the sound right.
This story is passable. I'll do a quote then. God, jeez.
Run.
Frun? What does that mean? Frun? Oh, run.
Run.
Okay. Run. This story is passable. I love the weirdness of having a semi-doctor, and I believe this was the first story with a video confirmation on the info stamp that McGann Doctor was canon. We only saw a drawing in the John Smith diary. The Cyber Rats, or Cyber Shades, were rubbish. Cyber King was cool. Suppose it was to a degree. My problem is more with it being forgotten by history. Oh yeah, you mean the Cyber King. Loved the balloon TARDIS joke. The place where the children were slaving away was built in the remnants of the Torchwood hub set. Oh, we want one of these. I wanted to know more about Rosita and how she hooked up as a companion to the Jackson Lake Doctor. Maybe Big Finish has done it. Mary would know. Happy birthday, Mary. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Mary. I did wish her a personal happy birthday, but now she's turned 50, I suppose she's going to have to start thinking again some slippers and stuff.
Oh no.
No. That's it for that feedback section. Not too bad effort there, Kirby, I have to say. We have had worse responses to your requests.
He's off doing something. It's Mother's Day in America.
Is it? Oh, okay. Well, that's fair enough.
Is Kirby not here?
I'm surprised he hasn't pumped in what he thinks of the new Doctor announcement.
Do you know what? I'm sure we'll hear.
We may do. I suppose we'll hear it in the next instalment, I suppose.
I would have thought so.
Where we got? I've got a jingle to find. There it is.
Hello, 20 Megabyte Podcast, this is Ian Kirk.
Well, hello, Ian.
The Next Doctor by Russell T Davies. A Christmas special to start a year of special. If David Tennant was going to leave the show, this would be the episode to introduce a new Doctor. And Davies briefly fools the audience into thinking that David Morrissey was taking over.
Ah, yes, indeed.
It turns out this is a misunderstanding, brought about by Cyberman memory technology.
They called it a red herring, Ian.
The female villain is Miss Hartigan, played by Dervla Kirwan. Dervla Kirwan was a female lead for 3 years of Goodnight Sweetheart, a comedy drama TV series. She played the 1940s girlfriend of a time traveller who also had a wife in the 1990s. Then she was replaced by another actress, a procedure Doctor Who fans are familiar with. The Cybermen claim they will liberate Miss Hartigan, but they plan to use her as the mind of a giant robot. The Next Doctor, his companion Rosita, and the 10th Doctor win out in the end, and the Doctor goes to Christmas dinner to remember his lost companion. They claim the giant Cyber King stomping around will not be remembered. An enjoyable romp with snow and urchins and sentimentality. Bye for now.
Thank you, Ian. Very good summary, as opposed to a very good wintry or a very good autumny. Maybe Delrose has some blurb to dictate from one of our regular listeners and somebody she happened to bump into in Cows a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that was fun. It's snowing. This must have been a Christmas episode because we all know it snows at Christmas. Well, in BBC Writers Land it seems to. Is this a new doctor I see before me? No, hang on, he didn't regenerate. Has he met himself? No, this is someone impersonating him. That dog has a head like a Cyberman. Of all the silly things you could do, fancy lassoing it than not letting go as it climbs up a 3-story building wall. Fun fact, David Tennant did his back in doing the stunt, being dragged on the floor by the cyber shade. Yes, you already said that, Kirby. Deborah Kerman was brilliant in this, when in fact all the cast were excellent, well, except his son's freckles. In his memories, the boy had exaggerated freckles, but when they saved him, he had only a normal face. I hadn't noticed that. I know it's only a science fiction fantasy TV show, but the Thames was only 37 feet at its deepest point. Cyber King was about 1,000 feet tall. How did it fit in the Thames?
Very good.
Maybe lying down?
Science fiction fantasy TV show. Sorry.
Still, we both enjoyed the episode and now await the next special at Easter, Planet of the Dead. Stay safe and well, everybody. Linda and Terry Miles.
Yes, Easter specials have certainly gone downhill, haven't they, since those ones?
Since Easter.
Thank you, Linda and Terry.
Yes, thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
And Linda.
And Linda.
And Linda.
And the dogs.
And the gorgeous dogs. Oh, they're beautiful.
I'm not a dog fan.
Dogs remind me of, if the car wash breaks down, the two spinning doodads sort of just roll along the road. That's the Miles's dogs. They're absolutely gorgeous and fluffy and cuddly.
Oh, they were. Isla fell absolutely in love with them.
But you certainly know it when they tread on your foot. Right then, Ben Tshabalala will now dictate to Councillor Alan T. Butcher.
Oh, who's taking on the Kirby role?
What do you mean? Well, there's not much anybody here, is there, for that particular role?
Fair enough.
I don't know even if it's neat.
You can do it, Deb. I've got technical stuff to deal with.
I haven't even sorted out
behind the scenes stuff
it yet.
Right, let's see if it still works. It does. Right then, go on then, Ben.
I can't remember what Kirby says.
Oh, it gets fed in. It's the science fiction fantasy TV show bit.
Science fiction fantasy TV show.
That's if it's in there.
It's not. Totally Debs, I'll shout you when I need you.
I'll sit here on tenterhooks.
Right, okay, well, this is going to be quite appalling because I haven't even looked at this yet, so I'm just going to read it straight off, which I can't do.
Oh, dear.
Tired acronyms regarding TARDIS delivered in style. Oh, look at the size of that one, Doctor. Yes, it's a big one, isn't it, Rosita?
Oh, dear.
Oh, hold on a minute, I can join in with you there. Maybe I'm going to give the counsellor some much-needed sound effects.
Oh, God.
Okay. The next Doctor is, of course, a closely studied examination of how someone can pass themselves off as something they are not if they become convinced enough they are that thing. A little bit of politics there.
Yes.
I don't know which party he bats for, but he never makes it obvious. That's the thing. Does the Labour councillor. It should be noted that the Cyberman suddenly creating a big Cyber King for no adequately explored reason does not seem logical. In fact, nor does draining another planet's energy into yours until it just explodes, so no change there. Oh, hold on. Thank you very much. Thank you. We also learn that despite Michael Grade's intervention, the Doctor sort of made it to Blackpool eventually with the man that became Jackson Lane.
Why do I keep calling it Liverpool?
Because we're about 15 miles away from each other, aren't they?
Fair enough, but it's Blackpool, and I called it Liverpool, so I apologise if anybody listening's been thinking I'm an absolute terrible person.
Are you being liverist?
Liverpool's a bit less of a dive. I love Blackpool. I do love Blackpool.
No, please, you're asking me if I'm being liverist.
Please allow me to defend myself. If you go to Blackpool and you're walking north up the promenade, the left-hand side is amazing. The right-hand side, it looks like it could do with a bit of a dust-up. Liverpool, however, when we went there, was quite nice and tidy. Carry on.
All in all, the next Doctor is an original tale, entertaining, intriguing, and cleverly uses the elongated period of anticipation and speculation about Tennant's departure from the show. wound into the narrative. I should complete that sentence with those words. The Cyber King does stand out a bit like a sore thumb and is maybe somewhat as painful. However, the fake Doctor and companion give great performances and definitely outshone a dodgy cyber concept and an excellent villainess. Oh, and an excellent villainess is a cherry on the top of the cake. Okay. This story is perhaps 40 or more episodes too short, as David Morrissey is an excellent actor who could have been a great Doctor Who. Interesting. Next up, Doctor Who and the return of the Menoptera in clothes, or Lady Christina and the Prophecy of Three Knockers. Those are my thoughts.
The Counsellor, Alan T. Bradshaw. Oh dear.
Yes, oh dear is exactly right. Right. You know we've done this in the wrong order, don't you? Because I found this.
Well, good evening to any writers. Anthony here. It's Bank Holiday Monday evening. I'm sitting here in my TARDIS towel straight out of the bath. I've got a nice cup of fruit tea to drink. It's a bit early for a drink, yes. And just this morning I got up and did all the ironing and watched The Next Doctor, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I think it was very well set to start with thinking, well, who is this man who says he's a doctor? And
like
he's
the
actually a
announcement
doctor,
all over
and
again.
you don't find out that his TARDIS is actually a balloon, and he hasn't really got two hearts until quite late in the story. So you're actually wondering, well, hang on a minute, has the Doctor regenerated? Is this a future regeneration? Who is this man? I think that's what, because part of the mystery, bringing up the Fog Watch, which actually, of course, comes to play, but for a different reason. It doesn't contain the timeless memories, but it just actually tells him who he actually is. It's very good the way they bring the Sidemen in, and you're never quite sure what actually happened. How did they think that this man Jackson Lake was actually the Doctor? You've got all these little devices with memories and things like that, and it does work very well. It's only nearly about halfway through the story you realise, well, actually no, he isn't a Doctor. Then you start to work out who he is, but he becomes a sort of pseudo companion. And as I said, I watched the Confidential. In a way, it was the Doctor becoming his own companion, because he started off as being the companion to the man who he was telling was the Doctor, because that's the way that he wanted to play it. I think that Neil Morrissey, could have been a good Doctor. I know he's always been put in there as a Doctor. I don't think he ever will now, because having always played it, I don't think he'd want to do it again. We had the companion, Rosetta, who was a very good companion. I think, did everything that a companion to the Doctor would do. So again, there was so many parallels to the real Doctor with this, not fake Doctor. I wouldn't call him that, but this implied Doctor. I think that's the best way of doing it. The story itself, Sidemen coming in, taking over. They're going to use the children as slave labour. They want to power it up. Never quite clear exactly what they were going to do. I thought they were going to take the children and convert them to cyber people. Cyber children? Could you have cyber children? Probably not, because they wouldn't. Would they develop? Would they grow? I suppose not. I suppose you have to have fully mature people to be converted to Cybermen. But certainly you've got the Cyber King, and again the way the Cyber King was not the person we expected it to be. And then the person who actually turned into Cyber King wasn't who they were. But it's good as well. You had somebody who could take on the Cybermen. Mercy, and I can't remember, Hartigan, was actually able to take on the Cybermen and beat them. And at the end, she became herself again. But what was she going to do? I wonder, we never knew that. Would she actually turn back on the Cybermen? But obviously, she didn't get a chance because the Doctor effectively killed her. Which was, he tried to save her, couldn't do it. But I thought, when she had the dark eyes and the lies of her own, she realised what was going on. I thought it was very well worked. The massive cyber ship coming out this Thames, didn't like that. I thought it was a bit silly. We've never seen anything like that before. Where's it come from? It's never been seen again since. So I think it's probably realised it just didn't work to me. That didn't. It could have done without it. We didn't need it. And, when it just got, just came out, got destroyed, that was it. It just didn't seem to serve any purpose, that. Doctor himself, Tennant, but he still does run in a very funny way, doesn't it? But I think at the end, when he's sort of admitting, the Doctor's always lonely, he's always alone, they break his heart when people leave. We seem to get that more and more about the Doctor understanding his relationships with people who are ephemeral, whereas he will go on forever. But at the end, when he went off and had Christmas dinner with Jackson and his son and Rosetta, I thought that was a nice touch. That was. It just shows the Doctor does have some element of humanity in him, I think.
Always hungry.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought the references to the TARDIS being a balloon was quite good. I thought the sonic screwdriver was actually very funny. I thought that was a good moment. There were some very good comedy moments in there. I mean, as RTD did say, it wasn't a bit of pantomime in times because it was obviously set around Christmas. But there were some good touches in there which I thoroughly enjoyed. So I think, good story, very enjoyable. Good one for Christmas. Be seeing you.
That's Andy Nunny, everybody.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
Right, stuff coming through on the live feed.
Is it live?
Alan T. Butcher, I have omitted Kirby's part. That sounds a bit painful. Poor Kirby.
That's why he's not here this week.
Yes, having an operation to have it sewed back on. And
maybe it was on his arm.
Lillian Robbins says, last pic I saw of Kirby was that he was bald and had no hair to part. Oh, what's another pun relating to Kirby's part?
Is Lillian being baldest?
Oh, you stop it!
Yeah.
No, sorry. I've got to look out for everybody, Deb, because everyone's got to be.
You're looking out for everyone. Are you being everythingist?
Yeah. That I am. I've got to look out for everybody.
Everythingist.
Because some people don't know they're being offended, so I've got to tell them that they're being offended. Isn't that the way the world works these
days?
Yes, it is. Don't you just
got to watch out for the offendees.
Yes, exactly. Even the ones that don't know they've been offended until no one won't know.
But now they know.
Someone's alarm going off.
Oh.
I can hear an alarm going off. I hope it's not mine.
Hold on.
All right, and in reference now, I just thought, which you know that Andy mentioned about the
big ship coming out the Thames.
That's outside. Someone's car alarm going off. No, the Doctor realising that he can't have a relationship because his companions either die or leave or whatever, and he's always going to outlive them. When the 13th Doctor was sort of trying to not fall in love with Yaz, it was a reference that Doctor made that that he just can't, or she just can't, because. And if you look at the regeneration bit in the trailer, I hope they haven't killed off Yaz at that point, because the Doctor says yes. I hope they haven't killed off for that, because I want to see her face when she regenerates and our new Doctor appears, because that'll be a bit of a shock for her.
It really will. Actually, I retract my I wish they'd killed her, and I hope they leave her.
Yes.
And see her absolutely. Oh my God! Because my face this morning.
It doesn't bear a completely different look than Ryan. Remember Ryan, the companion for the first two series? No, okay, I'll just talk to myself then.
Rylan?
It'd be like falling in love with your brother. Yeah. Well, there you go. We'll see how that pans out.
Is that an Isle of Wight thing?
What?
You mean Ryan?
Ryan. What did I say? Rylan?
Yeah.
Rylan, yes, with a girt teeth.
I don't come about my cars.
I sit on the kitchen surface. Very unhygienic. Yeah, sorry.
How is he?
Yeah, Ryan. Yes, but
how has Ryland Clark Neal got himself a show on the radio? The bloke can't bloody talk.
How do you get yourself mentioned in this podcast? Anyway, back to Doctor Who. Yeah, I just feel that for me that'd be quite a satisfactory end, because all this, I love you, Yaz, I love you, Doctor, and she's going to die and she's going to regenerate and become the new Doctor. And I just want to see Yaz's face.
That's what Yaz will do.
She'll just go, "Do!" Anyway. Do you remember the scene when the Doctor starts to regenerate at the end of Stolen Earth, and she's going, "No, you can't, I've just found you." And of course he doesn't. But imagine that you can't. Oh no, you have.
You can't.
Yeah. Right then. So Ben, do you still have your special bit that you compile for our show.
Oh, do I?
Do you?
Do I? Let's find out.
And now, live from the Indie Rock Disco Radio Studio 1, the game show nobody's talking about. This is How Aged Are They?
How aged are they? How aged are they? How aged are they? That's what the game's about. How aged are they? How aged are they? How aged are they? Get ready to find out.
With your host,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, welcome to How Aged Are They? The Doctor Who quiz, actor quiz.
Why have you suddenly turned into Tony Blackburn?
Well, I'm sorry, it's the DJ training I had.
Okay.
The Doctor Who actor who's recently had a birthday age guessing quiz, currently featuring on the 20 megabyte Doctor Who.
Do you need some tunes? Your nose has gone all bunged up.
My tune's loud. Not loud enough, did you say? Okay. The rules are simple. There are 3 rounds. In every round, I give you one actor from Doctor Who history who's recently celebrated or is soon to celebrate their birthday, unless they're a Jehovah's Witness. The contestants have to try and guess the actor's age to score as few points as possible. If they guess the actor's age correctly, they get an exact answer. No points are added to their score. If they're 1 year away, either over or under, it's 1 point. If they're 2 away, it's 2 points. And so on. At the end of today's 3 rounds, the points are added up, and the person with the lowest score is today's winner. To ensure fair play, the contestants will take it in turns to start each round, and just so no one guesses 1 year away from each other's answer for all 3 rounds and tries to spoil the fun, we have some Kirby rules. Woo! Also, if anyone says I don't know or similar, 10 points are added to their score. The weekly scores and winners' bonuses are added up across the series, and the winner will be crowned at some point. But before we play How Aged Are They, we better meet today's contestants. First up is Adam Pearson. Adam, 72, is well known on the Isle of Wight for his Grease tribute act, where he plays both Danny Zuko and Sandy Olsen. His shows have sometimes attracted up to 7 people, most of whom demand a refund at the end of the show.
Oh, Adam.
Adam once auditioned for the musical Starlight Express, but didn't get the part because he couldn't roller skate. Debbie, 57, works as a washerwoman from the 1860s. She can be seen every morning leaving her house carrying her mangle with her washboard under her arm before she jumps on the number 12 bus, which takes her to the century before last. Where was I? There we go. Debbie is also a keen tightrope walker. But let's now play How Aged Are They?
Half an hour later. Picked a spot on the side of my head and it's bleeding.
Round 1 is Richard Grant Easterhusen, or better known as Richard E. Grant. Richard played the Doctor in The Scream of the Shalka, the Doctor in Doctor Who and the Curse of the Fatal Death, and Dr. Simeon in The Snowman and the Name of the Doctor. And the Great Intelligence in The Bells of St. John. He was born on the 5th of May. The 5th of May. But how aged is Richard E. Grant? We'll start with Adam Pearson.
65.
And Debbie.
Well, that was going to be my answer, so I have to say 63.
I bet she gets it right. She's so jammy.
That's round 1 done. Should we move on to round 2? Good. Should we have some music underneath? It's a bit...
No. Oh, actually, I've got some...
You prefer it without the music?
Yeah. No, it's not an American production, you know.
Number 2 is Christina Cole. Christina Cole played Lilith in the Shakespeare Code. It was ever so British there, wasn't I? The Shakespeare Code. She was born on the 8th of May. The 8th of May.
Happy birthday.
Well,
That's
yes,
to date.
indeed.
That's very good, Debbie. Yes,
Debbie.
I deliberately put it in because today's the 8th of May. You weren't here last time we did it when I completely got the month wrong, but that's That was just something. That was something. Anyway, Christina Cole, 8th of May. Debbie, what year? How old? How aged are they? You get the game right, yeah.
Bang on 40, I do.
Bang on 40. And Adam Pearson.
33.
33, you say? Okay, let's move on to the final round. This is round 3. And the contestant in round 3, well, not the contestant, the actor is, we know him. It's Finlay Robertson.
Bugger, I got my maths wrong then.
He played Larry Nightingale in Blink. Oh, we like Blink, don't we?
I love him, yeah.
Yeah, Blink's very, very good. Oh, the crowd like Blink as well. He was born. He was born on the 2nd of May, which is the same day as my grandma. Yeah, that's true. Happy birthday, Grandma. She would have been 103. Bless her. I love my grandma. I miss her. Adam.
Right.
Finlay Robinson. Larry Nightingale in Blink. Born the 2nd of May, but how aged are they?
44.
And Deborah.
48.
48.
Lillian Robbins says 47.
Does she now?
She's not playing, but I just thought I'd pop that in there.
Well, we know what Lillian Robbins like, don't we? Yes, we do. She's the one who goes on Wikipedia and then puts the answers on. We've called her out. Anyway, that's the end of part 1 of How Aged Are They? We'll be back with the scores and the winner as soon as Adam's done a few bits now. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and it's been great talking to you. See you soon.
Well, Lillian Robin follows up with, I lost internet, or I would have been irritating some more.
All right, Lillian, I lost interest a long time ago.
Doctor Who news.
Is there any?
Yeah, there is. I'm not going to talk about the ratings for Legends of the Sea Devils. Absolutely appalling. You should be ashamed of yourself, Chibnall. You have dragged Doctor Who to its lowest depths, even lower than Time and the Rani's viewership.
Did you do that deliberately?
You are fill in your own answer. Right then, Doctor Who Magazine 577, featuring the 13th Doctor and a couple of her iconic baddies behind her on the cover. One of which is that postman. Remember the postman from that?
Was it Pat with the cat?
No, the one that was based on Amazon. Oh, come on. Oh, hang on, the dog wants to come in.
And all I want to say is Bazinga, and I know it's not that.
Bazinga? That's Big Bang Theory.
No, that's why I said that.
It's a good cover anyway. It's a nice picture of Jodie, actually, I have to say. Really good pose and facial expression. And it says what's in it, and you can buy this at who1.co.uk and get it shipped out to the United States of America, anywhere else around the world, by the way. In his most extensive and revealing interview ever, Chris fill your own gap, Chibnall, looks back at his useless time as Doctor Who showrunner and shares detailed insights into how to ruin a perfectly decent TV show.
Adam?
Yes?
Kablam.
That's a good one, actually. Quite a good episode, that. Featuring and wasted opportunity there with Lee Mack. Director Paul Joyce provides a commentary on the stills that created fancy backdrops to his 1981 story, Warrior's Gate. How Doctor Who became the Fortnight Doctor Who. I haven't even had a dabble in that yet. Yes, I've probably missed the bus there with that one. Moving on, that's Doctor Who Magazine 577. Anne Davies, 1934 to 2022. It says, the actress Anne Davies has died at the age of 87. She appeared in 5 episodes of 1964 story Dalek Invasion of Earth. She played Jenny, the freedom fighter. So, that's a bit of a sad one. I did notice that there was a post that Toby Haydock posted about the actor that played Mr. Ollis in The Three Doctors, who's just celebrated his 98th birthday. Surprised you didn't use that one, Ben, actually. If you had done, I would have known.
Might have done.
Yeah. Verity Lambert Heritage Plaque rededication. The Doctor Who Appreciation Society has rededicated its plaque in the honour of Doctor Who's first producer, Verity Lambert, at a special event in London. It now says, the show that Verity Lambert produced and got ruined by Chris Bloody Chibnall was born here. Oh, worked here, sorry.
Excuse me.
Steady on there, Ben.
Hold on. When I cough, I can turn my microphone down and then you can't hear it.
Doctor Who Worlds of Wonder, a new blockbuster exhibition of Doctor Who Worlds of Wonder, will be coming to Liverpool in the summer. What's that all about?
I think he's making a cappuccino.
Oh, right. Baldrick style.
Yeah. I hit the mic quiet button. I hope.
The exhibition at World Museum on the 27th of May will include contributions from stars across the fields of science and entertainment. I'm not there, so what's going on there? You're not there.
Oh, God. Sorry, I thought I pressed the button again.
Along with the opportunity to find out more about the many links between Liverpool and a long-running sci-fi show. Mark Gatiss, co-creator of BBC's Sherlock and writer of several episodes of Doctor Who, will narrate the exhibition and talk about his time when he met me and Debbie.
Lovely Debbie McGee.
Exclusive. This is an exclusive of the 20 megabyte Doctor Who podcast. The BBC has named Ncuti Gatwa as the 14th Doctor, taking over from Jodie Whittaker at the end of autumn 2022. Oh, the autumn 2022 episode. The 29-year-old actor will be the first non-white performer to take the lead role in the series' 59th history. Gatwa is best known for his award-winning performance as Eric Effiong in the Netflix comedy drama series Sex Education. In fact, he is the most iconic character in it. Just saying. He's also got the most. He's also got the best line in the whole series that everybody remembers that's seen it. And it says he's the third actor to be cast as the Doctor by Russell T Davies, and he was originally born in Rwanda. When I see the name Rwanda, it always makes me think of the Marvel. Makanda, is it Makamba? I think it's the Marvel African country. I reckon you could play the Black part, actually. What did you say?
Forever.
Makanda. Wakanda, yeah. Very similar name, isn't it? Anyway, so that's it then, really. That's exclusive to the 20 megabyte Doctor Who podcast. Have you done the results yet, Ben?
No, but I've just got to point out that I've been listening to what you've been saying, and on behalf of Chris Chibnall, I think you're being a little bit harsh on him.
Doesn't he sound like a troll from The Hobbit?
It's incognito. He's trying to be incognito because he doesn't want to be recognised.
I'm not being incognito at all. I'm being nobody in that respect.
Which is exactly what incognito is.
I just think that you're being way too harsh.
Now you're being a smurf. And how does being a smurf help the situation?
Really hard to do well on his job. Unfortunately, due to a lack of talent, he's been crap.
Oh, it sounds like Ralph Hasenhüttl. Right then.
Well, sir. Anyway, the results are ready if you want them.
Please, let's have the results.
Let's do this.
Debbie's won, by the way, because she's jamming.
Hello, and welcome back to How Aged Are They? My name's Ben. Over there's Adam.
It's funny. She says, "Oh, there's Adam," and then Ben, and then Debbie laughs. I mean, that's just typical of this show, isn't it? Really.
I mean, that's just how funny. I just literally thought of that as I did. That wasn't scripted. I just did that. I'm off the
Comedy
cuff.
gold.
Yeah, it really was. Are you recording this anywhere? Because I might need to listen to that bit again and put it on my show reel. Because that was.
Don't. Write down what I watched this week.
Anyway, the results are in for this week's How Aged Are They? If you remember, we had 3 Doctor Who actors or actresses who recently had a birthday, and our contestants had to guess how old they were or how aged are they. The first actor was Richard E. Grant, and Richard E. Grant was, wow. Let's have a look at this. Debbie thought he was 63 years old.
I couldn't say 65 because Adam had said it.
Adam said he was 65 years old, and he is indeed 65. We have an exact answer.
Do I get bonus points?
No, you get no points, don't you?
Yes, you get
no
points. You don't want points. Yes, you can have bonus points if you want them, mate.
No,
That's
zero
really
will do it, because it's like a hole in one.
Yes, so Adam gets no points, and Debbie gets 2 points. I don't know what's funny.
Well, not funny.
Yes, crowd, you're being really mean to Debbie. Stop it. Whoa. It's my show. It's my show. You lot shut up and only respond when I press the button for you. Right, person number 2 was Christina Cole. Lilith from the Shakespeare Code. Adam said that she was 33. Debbie said that she was 40. Oh, did I actually say how old Richard E. Grant was? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Yes, but yes, I did. Exactly. I got this audience is being really. Stop it! Stop it! Anyway, Christina Cole was born in 1982, making her 39 years of age. Adam said she was 33. He gets 6 points. Debbie said she was 40. She only gets 1 point, boys and girls.
I thought that might happen.
So it's all on the line as we go into the final round. The final person we talked about was Finlay Robertson, Larry Nightingale from Blink. We like Blink, don't we?
Yes.
Thanks
we
for that.
love Blink.
Finlay Robinson was born on the 2nd of May, 1975. Adam said he was 44. Debbie said he was 48. He was 47. Debbie gets 1 point. Adam gets 3 points.
I knew that would happen.
That means the final scores are Adam is a loser with 9 and Debbie is a winner with 4.
What a surprise.
Thank you very much for watching and listening and playing along with How Aged Are They. We'll be back next week with another round. Take care till then, everybody. Ciao, Bella.
I did say that I'd messed up the maths on that second question.
David Tennant as the Doctor. There you go, I'm done.
Right then, before we move on to the last segment of the show, which will actually be quite quick this week, FantasyCon news. Right.
Go on.
So behind the scenes, I sent out a press release for FantasyCon, and very kind friends, I'm going to call them friends because they did mention us, Isle of Wight Radio posted and shared a link to what's going on and picked out a couple of our guests for their particular production and nicked different pictures of them off the internet. So basically, they announced Hebe Beardsall and Clive Mantle's appearances as their star feature of FantasyCon this year. And what else did we... what else happened? That was about it. So I didn't anything from County Press, typical Isle of Wight County Press, absolutely useless. Don't quote me on that, obviously.
That's it. Slag them off.
Yeah.
That's how to make friends.
So it leads me to reiterate what we've got coming to FantasyCon. FantasyCon in association with Wessex Cancer Trust.
Hold on.
We have White VR, which is a very exciting virtual reality experience. So that'll be quite good fun. Kai Owen, who was an actor who appeared in most series of Torchwood. We also have retro gaming as provided by
Mr. Gwen, didn't he?
Yes. As provided by Mick, who is mine and Deb's henchman for the weekend. Fidel's Dream, 3D printing. So I'm just thinking of an object of my body that I can get 3D printed. That might be quite...
Your nose.
I haven't got a big nose. How dare you?
I mean, I was going to say, if you go for anything else, it may not take very long to print.
No, I was more thinking of a one-finger salute that I could sort of just get 3D printed and then put on the back sort of shelf of the car.
From what I've heard, that one-finger salute would still take longer to print.
Than your nose.
Yes, I don't know what you were thinking I was talking about.
The movie star Craig Fairbrass is also coming along, who's a long list of He's the star of a long list of tough nut movies made in the UK. Carla Mendonça, who played the mum in My Parents Are Aliens, she's currently in Coronation Street, and she's the wife of Clive Mantle, who is almost a British, not icon.
Institution.
Institution, that's it, yes.
He's an institution. He's a bloody tuition, isn't he?
Joseph Milson, who was Maria's dad in Sarah Jane Adventures, amongst other things, but also he was in Moon Knight, the absolutely superb Marvel series, which is just finished.
I thought you were talking about the Bruce Willis thing from the 80s.
Our old sponsors, Heroes, will be there and are looking after minifigure montage. We'll be making some minifigure montages and also sponsoring our Lego Zone. Silver screen autographs. Always a must at a convention, people selling autographs of people that aren't there as well, specifically. Dragon's Castle.
Last time, though, Adam.
Hey?
Didn't they whinge a lot about not having a wall?
No, they didn't. They weren't there.
Oh, right.
You're thinking about the other autograph people.
Fair enough.
Dragon's Castle.
Guys, right then.
They sell sort of like. It says here, a wonderful range of good condition second-hand TV, movie-related toys and collectible items. The Glenn Arnold cosplay competition, which I have billed as the main event for FantasyCon. It's a cosplay competition, and that for me is what cons are all about, cosplay. And I'm planning to go to what's it called? Destination Star Trek, which is a convention in October featuring, fingers crossed, William Shatner. And I've already decided that my my cosplay is going to be the red shirt, crew member with a hole in it, with a burnt hole in it. I'm trying to describe my cosplay with a burnt shot through hole in its chest. So I'm obviously they can always get killed, don't they? The red shirt. So that's my plan, cosplay plan. Hebe Beards will obviously played Ariana Grande, who played Ariana Dumbledore.
A real person.
Ariana Dumbledore in Harry Potter. Hellfire Crafts, one of our longest running friends of the convention. We'll be making some crafty stuff. Board gaming will be back. That was quite popular, wasn't it, Debbie?
When are you going to release the picture opportunities? When's that going to get?
There aren't going to be any because we haven't got a photographer.
Oh, shame.
I know someone.
Duncan's not available and Neil's not available, so therefore we do not have a photographer, and I won't have time. I'm sorry, Debbie, but I will not have time to set up a photo studio and do pictures. So unless somebody's going to be very generous, rock up with a photography studio and printer. That will not be happening. So we're going to do selfies will be available to purchase, and we'll hopefully have
with you
a place where you can do your selfies with the stars. Well, that's
I thought you meant you were selling selfies with you.
If needs be.
I was thinking if you want to do a successful business, mate, try another one.
That's FantasyCon news. Right then, what I've watched this week. Not a lot.
What have you watched?
I'll tell you what, it's a really good series on. I've been watching a series on, what's it called again? Discovery Plus, where it's basically about artifacts in museums and their backstories. It's a very long-running series, but it's very interesting.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, you watched that one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Love that one.
There's another new series about the lost cities. This bloke, it's again a long-running series. I've just started watching that, where it's an archaeological style thing. So a couple of really good series there. I haven't watched the TikTok Menace, whatever it's called, on there, but that is in my queue to watch. We finished watching a series called Moon Knight, as I alluded to. Absolutely superb.
Moonlighting strangers.
No, Moonlight. Moonlight, not Moonlight. Shut up. Oh, God. Hang on. I might have made a list of what I actually have watched. We finished watching a series called Married at First Sight Australia. Rianne from Wet Leg came in the shop this morning with a friend who appeared to be bouncing off the walls of the shop. I don't know what she'd taken, but it was not appropriate to take that at 10:30 in the morning.
I've got a story that will beat that. Glastonbury.
Apparently, what's Han Solo's favourite bread? That was ciabatta. That was a joke. Sorry, that wasn't what I'd been watching.
I thought Han Solo's favourite bread was garlic bread.
I thought he liked it with a little bit of cheese on as well.
Yeah,
what do you want
double cheese.
Han Solo, I'm talking about.
Cheese, yeah.
We'd obviously heard the same thing, Debbie, or both made it up at the same time, and whatever it was.
I've got so many notes here. I've gone past where. Anyway, so I think that's probably the main thing I watched this week. We meant to go and watch a new movie called Doctor Strange and Multiverse Thingamajig, whatever you want to call it. But unfortunately, both times I wanted to go and watch it when my father-in-law was really ill, so we didn't get a chance to go and watch it. So we've rebooked it for the 11th, which is the day before my birthday and the day before the birthday of this show, rather appropriately. So hopefully going to go and watch that then.
Does that mean we can eat cake?
Long. What?
When it's the show's birthday?
No, I eat cake all the time. It doesn't have to be a birthday.
Exactly. So, but it's a reason to, Adam.
I suppose there is a reason.
Yeah. Exactly. I won't feel bad for eating so much cake on the podcast.
I feel really bad if I suddenly remember something I've watched and I haven't watched. I have watched and I haven't.
Have you? Tell us something about that you haven't watched.
Everything.
Oh, how was it?
Terrible.
Oh, that's a shame. Did you enjoy it?
No, I've just been watching stuff that I finished watching Aircraft Investigation Series 20 as well on Disney. It was on Disney. Again, a very good series, and not everybody in the series died, which I thought was quite nice.
Did all the planes crash?
Planes crashed, but not everybody died.
You find that in that show?
So that's it. I'm going to move on to Ben. What have you been watching this week?
I find that show very repetitive. If they'd have one where a plane didn't crash,
it's a bit like Titanic. You know what's going to happen at the end. Yeah.
It would just be like everyone would be watching it, go, "What the hell? The plane landed safely." Here are some adverts. Right, okay. From the top. Last night we watched Peter Rabbit 2, which was. I found it very, very funny. I find James Corden incredibly annoying, but the film was very funny because it's very clever. I love the way that even though it's obviously aimed at 6-year-olds, there are so many gags in it that are there for adults.
Yeah,
I love that, and I think just brilliant. And that was very funny. Story was very, very weak. Mostly over the last fortnight, because we haven't done it for a fortnight, I watched the snooker, the World Championship snooker, which was just the best snooker championships ever. The quality was so high, and I loved every minute of that. And I watched just about every frame all week, and I barely saw the wife, which she was probably very pleased with. I've watched lots of old Top of the Popses from BBC 4. They're currently in 1992, and the only bad thing about them is the god-awful presenters. Why did they ever take off the Radio 1 DJs to put on Tony Doughty and Sam Franklin or whatever it is? Useless. But apart from that, the music's good. I saw a fantastic Manic Street Preachers concert on BBC 2 a week or so ago. It was just brilliant, and it's just completely rekindled my love for all things Mannix.
Yeah.
And finally, our evening viewing for the last week or two have been Channel 4's Stand Up to Cancer Bake-Offs. We've watched all 5, all of the latest series, and we're now watching them from, I think, series 1. So, and it's not so much the cakes and the baking. I love cake, clearly, but I think it's a very, very funny show. It's who has it got? What's his name? Noel Fielding, and at the moment it's got Sandy Togsvig, and I've always loved Sandy Togsvig. I thought she's brilliant, and she's very funny. And with Noel Fielding, they just present that show in a very, very comedy manner, and it makes me laugh a lot. And I do get to look at cakes, which is good. And that concludes what I've watched this week. Debbie, over to you.
Well,
nice take up.
I've watched a lot of abandoned engineering this week. It's definitely been an abandoned engineering week. I'm still watching an awful lot of BBC News, but not quite as obsessively as I was. And we've done a few films. What films? I'm just trying to remember, because there's been a lot of sitting outside around the fire this week. So it's been such nice evenings. I
was hoping there wasn't a problem.
No, it's been lovely. We've been sat outside.
We've been outside sitting. But have you been making up songs around the around burning logs in an oil can?
Yeah.
in a back
We've
alley.
been meaning to watch a lot of things. We're desperate to watch The Pentaveret, which is just out on Netflix. So we'll be starting that this week. We were meant to start watching that, and we haven't. And there's also I've watched the Lucy Worsley programme about Notre Dame after the fire and how they're doing with that, and that was really interesting. And I've watched Doctor Who a few times this week, different ones. I just went random and picked some from Hartnell era and Davison era.
Did you just put it on shuffle?
Pretty much, yeah. I've got my computer, so I just went, yeah, have that one.
Shuffle, which is, I mean, it works, I suppose, if you've got all of the stories, all the episodes of the story in the same kind of like saved file. Otherwise, you could get episode 1 from that one, episode 7 from series 23.
That's what did used to happen. Now I have it actually just.
That would actually be really entertaining, wouldn't it? If you could just put every single episode on random.
I know, and we've watched every single story, so I can now go, oh yeah, that's from that, you know. But for a minute, you are just sat there going, huh? Did we generated already?
This cliffhanger didn't match the end of the last one. How does that resolve it? I think that'd be very good. I might try and do that. Collect every single episode, and
yeah.
And then have a couple of hours every week of just watching random, just put it on shuffle and just see what.
Shuffle Doctor Who, there you go. Or you just go onto the horror channel, because at any given time there's a different Doctor Who.
That's just random, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is so amusing.
You can't tell which one it is. It just says Doctor Who, and it's like, okay, who is this?
I'm pretty sure, actually, Debbie, when I was watching the horror channel once, a different episode started after the ad break.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
It came out with something just completely different.
Yep, and then you're like, what?
Was I? Am I? What, man? Have I drunk that much?
So anyway,
is it still Thursday?
Robert Vance Jr. says, so I guess Ben is going to watch the show now with this news. Oh God, I don't think Robert, you haven't been watching this show.
No. That you can't type sarcastically. I know he's being sarcastic. He knows. He knows my feelings. He's back. Yeah, my choice though.
Yeah. Right, that's almost it for the. Oh yeah, I've got to find out when we're recording next, actually, because obviously next time it's going to be. Is it Waters of Mars or? It's the Planet of the Dead. Planet of the Dead. Yes.
The bloody bus again.
The bloody bus, but there with a Marvel
bus.
a Marvel star in the next episode, Deb.
So today is the 8th. So 15th. Next week is the 15th. Are you around, or are you?
Yes, I'll be there.
I'm away at the end of the month.
To suffer this once again. Yes. It seems to take an awful...
wedding in Plymouth at the end of the month, so I can't do the last week.
It seems to take an awful long time to get to the end of the Tennant era. Seems to be dragging out.
I thought we'd finished Tennant in like February, but we're still dragging on.
We're still going.
Well, that's because Adam keeps on taking 3 weeks off.
3 weeks off. I'm busy. It's a wedding season.
Yeah.
You can only get married once, Adam. Otherwise, you're called a bigamist. Unless you get divorced first.
Yeah.
And then you're called a divorcee, and then you're called a husband again.
But anyway, I'm going to
Go and watch
I'm going to wrap up the show, and the dogs are barking and waking up my wife, and that's not good.
Oh.
So I'm going to leave you with this thought.
Bad dogs, get on your bed.
I'm going to leave you with this thought. What do you get if you put an avocado in the oven and bake it for an hour?
Don't tell a joke at the end of a podcast, because people won't tune back into the next one.
An avocado loaf.
Right. I did warn. Do you know what? How many people now are just going to go, actually, that's just so bad, I'm not going to tune in for the next one?
One.
Well, we've only got 4 listeners, so that's not half of them.
4, exactly.
There's more people doing this show a lot of the
Many
time.
a true word is said in jest. But all right, I'll leave you another thought then. What did
Adam, have you not learned your lesson?
All right, you're having my favourite one then. What's big and red and lies on its back? A dead bus.
Right. And what did Captain Picard say to the driver of the seed drill? Make it so. Goodbye.
I'm seriously,
Goodbye,
I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
bro.
so many people have just gone, yay, I am.
Oh, hang on. There's some. Oh, no, what the? Lillian. Jeez.
What?
Lillian
what did
says.
Say?
You can almost watch Doctor Who randomly on Pluto TV, and they'll show episodes in order, but random stories.
Yeah.
The 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast is an APV Services production sponsored by whowon.co.uk, lavazi.co.uk. We are a proud member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance. Doctor Who is a trademark of the BBC. No copyright infringement intended.